Hi, my name is Boku, and in this video I want to quickly show you how you can get a detailed, realistic building without having to do any modeling using entirely a single material. So it is really as simple as throwing a material on your object, like so. And right out of the bat you have a very convincing and realistic entire building. Also wanted to mention that this works in literally any other software, Blender, Unreal Engine, Unity. It's literally just a texture. I'm using Cinema 4D and running with Octane, but that shouldn't really matter. This is also my first tutorial, so it's kind of sloppy and there are a lot of cuts, but I hope you can look over that. Make sure to set it to cubic so that it kind of doesn't break, and you can really adjust this kind of method. It's really customizable. For example, if you want to make this taller, all you have to do is just pull one of the sides and it just kind of works. You don't really have to do any kind of complicated adjusting or anything like that. If you see that a edge doesn't match, all you have to do is tweak the settings a little bit and you're pretty much done. With it being a texture, however, if you get too close to it, you might start to notice artifacts like stretching or something like that, but as long as you don't do any extreme close-ups, this method should be perfectly fine for you. So the way that this works is if we go into the node editor, you can see that we are using a diffuse texture, a specular, a normal, and a displacement map. Very simple setup, but as you can see the results are really effective. So a little bit of explanation what each of these does. The diffuse is basically just the image texture that we're using for the base. The specular is added so that in some places the windows can reflect the light. If you're using an HDRI or just simple lights, it can reflect and make everything look just that little bit more realistic. Same thing with the normal, it basically just brings out all the little details in certain places when the light hits it. You can really play with this as well. You can invert it and it kind of gives a slightly different result, or you can just adjust how much of the detail and just grain of the texture you want to show. But the kind of main thing that drives this entire method is the displacement texture. Since all of these little air conditioners and the indents on the windows are being controlled by this. If we plug this out, you can see that everything just becomes flat and the whole illusion is ruined and just looks like a very bad texture. If you plug it in, you can see that now it works. This is also really easy to just customize. Since it is a displacement texture, you can really play with it. And yeah, that's one of the other points. Since this is only a texture, you can basically apply it to any kind of object and you can get pretty creative. As you can probably see on the screen right now, I'll put some renders that I did to test these textures out, and that brings to the textures. These 10 textures I made myself, and I'll provide a link to download 2 of them for free. They are both 4K resolution, all of the maps are included, and if you like those two, you can get the entire pack of 10 textures for only $5 in the description. I would really appreciate that. You'll be supporting me and you get some pretty good textures to use in your renders. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helps you or motivates you. I just wanted to show people how to do this. So hopefully this was helpful to anyone. You can use the textures that I'll provide in your renders and post them online and all that. If you do end up making anything using these textures, please, you can send it to me on Instagram or on Twitter. I'll be really happy to see what you guys make. And while you're on there, you can follow me and check out my other work. Thank you guys and have fun. See ya.